Greetings and welcome back to Hiveswap Friendsim. I am Karionto, and we continue on today from some peculiar friendships onwards to Volume 12 of Know Nothings and Know-It-Alls. Oh dear. Oh dear. The Know-Nothing party and the other ones. Okay, great. Know-It-Alls. Oh well. God, you have a headache. Is it dehydration? Only if you're thirsty for companionship. Are you hurt? Only your heart, and it aches for my pals. Is it withdrawal? Only from your addiction to new buddies. Really, there's only one cure for what ails you. Friendship. You wonder whose sweet medicine you'll be imbibing this time. Well, apparently, someone named Galekh Jigizi? A businessman. He looks like an actual adult even, almost, potentially. Oh, that's interesting. Or close to. Alright. Hello, Galekh. Let's see what you are. It's a chilly night. Not in a bad way, though. It's the kind of crisp air that invigorates you. You think you might just fuck around and make a friend. You're busy breathing in a big old lungful of this stuff when you hear someone call out behind you. Excuse me, alien. I would like a word. It's phrased like a request but delivered like a command. You don't recognize the voice, so you do some mental calculations as you turn. Whoever it is seems like they know who you are, which could be good or really, really bad. You could make it to Zebra's Hive in a few blocks if you had to make a run for it. God damn it. Why him? That's not exactly a place you'd like to take sanctuary though, so you figure out the risk of talking to this mystery troll is worth it. Good. By the time you've rotated around to face him, you've got a big friendly grin on. Ooh. Alright, he's got this kind of music. Alright. Truly a businessman. It's a bit of work to keep it there when you see who it is. Tall, sharp suit, well filled out, curly hair, cute little Christmas tree looking horns, and an expression that screams, would pay someone else to bisect you if you call anything about him cute. Yes, I agree. It's a good thing you didn't choose to run, because last time you saw this guy he was sprinting away from your sparkly self at top speeds. You'd have no chance. He strides toward you now with considerably less fear, but about as much purpose as we met him before. What are you talking about? Playing it friendly, you hold out your hand for him to shake. He takes it immediately, like it's an instinct. Yes, I am Galekh Jigizi. You are the alien. Nice to meet you, officially, etc., etc. It is imperative that we speak. As it's a matter of some importance, I hope you will take my request seriously and follow me to my hive, where we can talk more openly. It is in your best interest to comply. Wow, okay then. We got a worthy motherfucker who over here, huh? A short and sweet hey, let's hang out. Would have worked on your friend-thirsty self, but that's fine. You don't have anything else to be doing, so why not follow this pushy high blood back to his house? Wonderful, this way. He stays true to his word and doesn't say anything else as he leads you toward his hive. But you watch the way he clenches his teeth and flicks his eyes back at you as he walks. He's about to explode, holding it all in. You walk a little slower just to bask in the need emanating off him. Okay, wow, that's a fancy one. Still dizzy with the feeling of having your presence wanted so badly, you trip a bit heading up a wide flight of stairs. And there are a lot of them. Jesus, he could have warned you at least. You look up as you pull yourself to your feet. The stairs lead up to an old stone building, covered with ivy that creeps from around some pointy-topped windows and up to the tops of turrets. It looks like the kind of place a crusty old professor might walk out of, followed by a flock of khaki-clad rich boys. The door opens with a creak. You do not hear anyone debating the difference between a movie and a film in there, but you do hear bleating. Sounds reasonable. Okay. Once inside, Galekh beckons you through the foyer and into another room, this time unlatching what looks like a very tall metal baby gate to let you both in. Okay. Okay, what? Sure, sheep. Right. He checks the latch twice after he shuts it, then gestures to a pair of studded high-backed chairs on either side of the fire. Please take a seat, I will make us some coffee. You will not have had any like this before, as the taste is drastically different from the slop you get from a public coffee shop. You do take the seat, and you look around while he fucks with an antique espresso machine. He has a desk covered in papers, open books, and a typewriter, and along the walls there are bookshelves leading up to the vaulted ceiling. Everything has an air of purposeful messiness to it, like he pulls some of his cool titles to leave laying around for you to see. How flattering. You mentioned that this must be one of those personal jerk-off book hives Theseus was talking about. Excuse me? Oh, never mind. You clear your throat and ask him what he wants to talk about. He hands you a cup and sits down in the other chair. God, he is a wordy bastard. Of course, I just wanted to clear up a misunderstanding between us. You may be under the false impression that I am uninformed, re. the attributes of rainbow drinkers. You may even think that you successfully fooled me into thinking you were one yourself when we first met. I just had not previously encountered one in real life, nor had I ever seen an alien for that matter. Furthermore, when I saw you before, you were in the company of one Galekh. I was making the most reasonable assumption possible, given the information I had available. It makes complete sense, if you think about it. He looks at you expectantly. I guess it's your turn to say something. Is that, all? Oh man, what the fuck is this guy talking about? You thought whatever he wanted was gonna be a way bigger deal. You want to get this straight, you say. He dragged you all the way here under the thick veil of secrecy just so he could tell you that he knows what he's talking about? That he was actually right and not wrong, smart and not dumb? Specifically about rainbow drinkers? Yes, is this confusing to you? I cannot have people thinking incorrect things about me. Cool, no, you were just jacking, tap your fingers on the leather arm of your chair. Is that all he wanted from you? Oh, yes, I suppose, as long as we are in agreement and you do not intend to spread any misinformation. You promise? That is great news. There is a long pause. He looks disappointed somehow. You're not sure if this is what he was expecting, but sure as hell is what is transpiring. I will show you out. Okay, well, he's looking at us through the fucking window. Okay. Okay. Let's be like, who gives a fuck about that? Sure, the fuck. No, wrong button. Anyway, yeah, all that shit you said, I don't give a shit, but dude. You laugh and then realize he's 100% serious. He really cares that much what you think of him. It reminds you a bit of you a few months ago, or, a few days ago. You know what it's like. You try to tread the line between humoring him and easing him out of having to care that fucking much. You tell him you'd like him even if he was a complete rube, a total rainbow-drinking lore idiot, if his incompetence knew no bounds. I get it. Heck, if the barely contained panic in his eyes is any indication, he isn't at all placated by that. You cut off that line of friend finagling and try something you hope is a little more his speed. It must be cool to have a primary source getting in his own jerk-off book though, right? He exhales, gathering himself a little. I'm not sure you will keep calling it that, but I do admit I am interested in the chance to learn more about you. His fingers twitch. You hope he doesn't mean it that like a creepy dissection kind of way. You are free to leave, right? You glance anxiously at the locked baby gate. What? Of course you can leave. Just because I am a high blood does not mean I am a fucking sadist. My interest in you is purely academic and friendly. Furthermore, that gate is not for you. You do definitely worry about it, but not in a present actionable way. Just in a sort of under the surface self-preservation way you're worried about, everything that's tried to end you or run here on Alternia so far. Plus he offered you friendship. You'll reach your heart into that monkey trap any day. Hell yeah then. You throw your arms out, toss your head, and tell him you're all ready to be studied and subsequently friended. Galekh doesn't bounce right on that though. Mostly he looks uncomfortable, which doesn't stop him from talking. I do have considerable interest in understanding the pathos of the alien. What I really want to know is that what makes you so magnetic. All observable criteria points to you not being much to look at, but there seems to be something about you that draws people in. That isn't even on the top 10 list of insults you've heard since landing, so you brush it off just fine. Plus you have it on good authority that your legs are nice. You flex those bad girls in order to give yourself a little self-esteem boost. I was wondering if you had emissarial status, but the more I learn about you, the more difficult it becomes to make any sense of your plans. Accounts of your activities contradict each other at almost every turn. You are either the most suave and well-connected plenipotentiary I have ever heard of, or you're running around with no clue what you're doing, and somehow it works out for you anyway. Yeah, it's the latter. You mean it's worked before? A low, frustrated clicking rumbles in his throat. He puts his coffee aside and crosses his legs. This is the sort of thing I'm talking about. I know all about your antics, leg-based and otherwise. I just can't work out what the draw is. Why do people like this? He seems to be fixated on this. You wonder if, perhaps, he has some hidden reason for wanting to know why other trolls might be into your freaky little self. Some sort of personal interest in other trolls' friendship decisions and inclinations and interest. Just, you know, maybe. You wait for him to blush, but he doesn't. He does start talking very quickly though. First of all, I do not know what you mean by that. I do not base my self-worth on anything so external. Hypothetically, if I did happen to be invested in what someone else taught me, I would not tell you about it. Furthermore, just because I am not a freak does not mean I do not have desirable traits. You think he's probably gonna keep going forever, now that he started letting it all out. But there's a sound behind you that shuts him the fuck up. It's a fucking goat. You both turn to see his Lucis, a big scruffy goat, gently headbutting the baby gate. It looks extremely friendable. Come on, now there's only one option, feed the beast. He's not saying anything important. As much fun as it is to get monologued at, you opt for a change in pace and ask Galekh if this goat is a good boy. If you call breaking into my book and eating important chapters in my manuscripts good, then yes, he's the best. Okay, that is a good boy then. He sighs when he says it, a mix of frustrated and fond. You pull an apple-adjacent fruit from your hoodie pouch. You never know when you might have to spend the day hiding in an alley, so pocket snacks that don't make you puke are extremely useful. You offer it to the Lucis, and he uses his teeth and tongue to pull it to him through a hole in the gate. Nice. You don't have to have a crisis about whether or not you should let him in the room, because once he swallowed his snack, he trots back down to the hallway. You mosey over to Galekh, plop back down in the chair, and let him know you're ready to get this fact exchange party started. You wonder to yourself what kind of information actually exists about aliens, you mean humans, on Alternia. The fact that you have started thinking of yourself as the alien is mostly fine, you figure. I mean, it's accurate. When in Rome do as the Romans, you are the alien in Rome. It's what the trolls vibe with, which is what you're all about in the end. But it could be cool maybe to hear about the history of humankind from their perspective. Yeah, it's interesting always. You've been curious, and if anyone would know, it'd be this fucking nerd. So you ask. There's absolutely nothing. I've read all kinds of reports on other alien races, of course. I can pull those for you if you would like. As for your species, I can confidently say there is no record or history of your kind on Alternia. Ow. Wow. So you're the first of your kind to visit, huh? You flex again, brag that maybe that's the secret to why everyone's so hot for your friendship. But even Galekh can tell you're not really feeling it. If you say so. Are you some kind of high-blood equivalent back home? Is that why you're so friendable here? What is your planned system of government and where do you fit in it? What are your main off-world exports? What were some defining moments in your species' development? Have you formed any bonds here that would, say, fit your plans equivalent of the quadrant system? You're not ready to take the space SAT. You're too busy trying to sort through the idea that you are the literal only option for him to learn any of this shit. The only one of your kind around. You feel like the frame surrounding your life has shifted. Like everything around you zoomed out to the widest angle, with you a tiny speck in the corner, invisible to the naked eye. Whew, maybe you should sit down. I thought we were already sitting though. Fuck, you were actually sitting down. Yeah, yeah. Maybe you should lie down. Yeah, that might help. You crawl onto the floor, which Galekh probably won't like, but you're too busy having an existential crisis to care. Ah, goddamn, that's Letty. You definitely still care what he thinks of you. It isn't the first time you felt overwhelmed by your situation since you landed. It isn't even the 100th, honestly. It's just the kinda you always had a back assumption that there'd be some way out of this. Sure, you're having fun making friends and allies, assembling a new wardrobe, and picking up weird survival skills. It just hadn't quite hit you that this might be all that was left for you. For real, I mean, it's a whole world. You don't really explore that much of the Earth when you're there, so. Is this floor wiggling another alien friendship ritual I just do not grasp the allure of, or are you spontaneously suffering? Please stop whatever this is. You want to answer him, but words feel so far away in this moment. You try to call up how you crashed, or what the ass you were doing in a spaceship to begin with. Are you even a certified astronaut? Do you have an advanced degree? Do you have hands? Your vision blurs and you feel queasy. You need air, a lot of it. You run towards the closest available source, a wide window. Defenestrating yourself is maybe not the best option, but it is the one you're currently the most emotionally attuned to, so that is what the fuck you do. Luckily, the panes of the window would open like French doors and you're still on the first floor. You spill out without breaking any glass or limbs. Behold, behind you, Galekh hollers. It still feels nice outside. You lay there and breathe in and out and try to pull your shit together. From your prone position, you can see Galekh put one leg up over the windowsill, shake his head, and then pull it back and turn away. He certainly looks fit enough to be able to manage that leap. But of course he wouldn't bother. He should give up on your hot mess of an alien self. You're fine wasting away out here like yesterday's banana peels anyway. You're ready to take a depression nap right then and there when you hear the front door open. Galekh is stomping toward you, flushing and fuming. He looms above you, his large frame quaking with anger. Listen here, you little chute maggot. I've opened my home to you. I've opened my mind to the possibility of understanding you, despite multiple instances of you not offering me the same courtesy. I only want to correct your misconceptions about me, and to have a chance to exchange some cultural understanding. No! You stood up and promised that he's been great. The best and smartest friend you've ever made yet. A great host, excellent even. It's not his fault you're not clicking like you do with other people. If that were true, why would you spend this entire visit acting like a fresh-hatched idiot? At this point I have to conclude that you are mocking me and my genuine interest in you. There's no other explanation for your behavior. You tried to explain that you were just in your feelings, but he has stopped humoring you. He turns on his heel and stomps back inside. You want to hope that he'll come back, the drive to understand outweighing the drive to be done with your sorry ass, but you know he won't. You drag yourself to your feet and start the slow, lonely walk to somewhere, anywhere else. From the open window, his Lucius cocks his head to the side and softly bleats his goodbyes. Oh, goodbye. And he looks sad as well. Well, okay, damn. I just picked all the wrong choices this time around. Sometimes that happens as well. Alright, Galekh. I don't give a shit, man. Anyway, I guess let's stay on topic. Stay on topic. Stay on topic. This time around, I can do that. I can do that. Please ignore him. He just wants to get in here and cause problems. I think you think hard to yourself about this. You really want to go pet the big goat dad, but you want to dish about this guy's love life even more. You've heard some about this situation from the other side, of course, but you really shouldn't let Galekh know that Tagoro tells you about their tentative and awkward pitch-ish flirtation. Unless you know it helps you get more friends. No. You slap your own cheek to snap yourself out of it. No secret spilling. Galekh leans away from you against the back of his chair. Fuck, you really are not doing anything to change my impression of you. You have an idea, so you cut him off before he can monologue you to death. You tell him that sounds to you like that what's really bothering him, a regular, non-freaky guy, is that he's jealous of your free-spirited friendability. He wants what you've got. He glares at you, his breathing quickening. Oh yeah, you hear nerve. I do not want anything of yours. Interrupting him was worked perfectly well so far, so you tried again. Let's cut the shit, you say. There's no reason for him to hide anything from you. First of all, you already promised to like him no matter what. Secondly, you know what it's like to want to impress someone. And finally, you know all about how to be a huge motherfucking weirdo. So, why doesn't he let you show him how to walk on the wild side? He can take a few pointers from Alternia's biggest freak. You can see the ensuing makeover montage already. Then you start bouncing a bit in your seat. I have zero interest in... Okay, that won't do it. You try one more tactic, telling him you guess he just doesn't mind not knowing shit about how to be a freak. Old Galekh, they'll all say. Smart how to be boring, and a real big dumbass about weird stuff. Ah, I see what you're doing. It stands to reason that allowing you to broaden my horizons to your alien ways will only serve to increase my cultural competence. Great, so what will it be? Shopping for a new, more casual suit? Or something wilder? Spicy undergarments? Dyeing your hair? Other weirder body mod? Galekh's eyebrows shoot up. That last one sounds interesting. Well, he's really already go whole ass, huh? You weren't expecting that from this guy, but you guess maybe he was waiting for an excuse to try something. That or he really can't deal with not being Alternia's biggest obnoxious know-it-all. Go big or get called, as they say. Damn, that probably is what they say. Anyway, you can't wait to get this show on the road. You tell him you even know a guy that can probably help him out. Will he be discreet? I'm willing to leap into this, but I do need to protect my privacy, of course. Ah, for sure. You mean, like, probably? His brow furrows, either at your continued interruption or your hesitance, so you waste no more time and whip out your palm husk. You pull up the secret gripe profile you got Malak to make so you can keep in touch and call him up. What's up, Robo Buddy? You get right to it and tell him you made a new friend who's looking to get a whole new hole to put in him. Behind you, you hear Galekh choke on his coffee. Artistically, an aesthetic hole. Galekh shrugs weakly, his eyes still wide. Or something similar. Hell yeah! Anything for you, bud? Malak's eyes dart from your face to the room behind you. You're not sure how much you can see through the screen though. My gear equals easy pack, so it'll be over soon. I'll bring options. You start to give him directions, but he stops you. Don't worry, I know exactly where you are. Your palm husk equals low jacked. I figured you'd be cool with that. See you soon. Malak hangs up and you grin at Galekh to reassure him. This sure seems like a manageable situation. He offers you more coffee, which you take because you are a polite guest. Galekh starts ideating in a small leather-bound notebook, so you mostly watch, listen to him explain the brainstorming process, take sips, and wish the goat would come back. Eventually, you hear soft footsteps approaching. Galekh jumps when Malak opens the baby gate. How did you get into the front door? I hacked it. Even though it's just a physical lock. Galekh's mouth opens and shuts a few times. His eyes dart between your and Malak's matching hoodies. Just kidding. Your operation equals pretty low tech for an indigo, unfortunately. Your Lucis let me in. Anyway, I'm Malak. And from behind him, a proud bleating. Ma! Hell yeah! Galekh looks around and wrings his hands. There's a lot going on all of a sudden. He points to you. You, alien, hold on to my Lucis. He cannot be unsupervised in here or he will eat everything. And as for you, Malak, hello, my name is Galekh Jigizi. Welcome to my hive. That equals problem. I hear you want to get freaky. Galekh tugs at the bottom of his suit jacket, straightening it reflexively. Poor dude. You want to tell him you're proud of him for going so far out of his depth, but he seems to be holding his own here. Plus, the goat really wants to make a snack out of some old paperbacks. You take your job seriously and hold on tight to his neck. Yes, that is correct. You have the tools to help me achieve this. I'm open to a wide range of modifications. My notebook has some sketches. You want to dutifully look at and not touch too, but wrangling a big goat is a full-time job. Malak holds up the notebook for you both to see. Oh, Galekh's not embarrassed actually. Still, you have to kind of turn your head and squint to make out what is going on in a couple of the sketches. I guess there are still a few surprises left for you in the brave new world of troll anatomy, huh? You point to the sketch you like best with one hand as you scramble to keep hold of a fistful of wiggly lucifer fur with the other. Yeah, I can work with that. Hell yeah, button up, get some layers off. Galekh flicks his eyes to you and you give him a big supportive thumbs up. You look politely away when he starts taking off his jacket. Instead, you focus on your job. And oh, you have some pocket snacks. You pull out some mostly not bruised fruit and offer it to Galekh's Lucis. He chomps it up in a readily and calms down a bit. Jeez, can't Galekh afford food for this guy? He eats plenty. Galekh doesn't take off his undershirt, but he does roll up the bottom of it before leaning his forearms against the back of one of the chairs, exposing the broad palette of his hips and back. That design does capture an ineffable facet of my core self. Get going on it. I assume I do not need to spill out any potential consequence if you stray from the artistic vision, correct? Malek rolls his eyes and pulls out a tattoo gun. It looks mostly how they do on Earth, but with a strip of greenish, almost biological light. Don't worry, your blood color equals crystal clear. Galekh winces at the first press of the gun to his skin. Or maybe it's lasers? There's a glow happening back there. With the luces sated, you're free to see what's going on. So you climb into the chair Galekh's leaning against and the back of, and peek over to watch. So what's the deal with this anyway? Tattoos don't seem much like your vibe. There's no specific reason. I'm simply fleshing out my worldly experiences, attaining visceral knowledge of a new kind. He's checking off something on his bucket list. You helpfully add. Galekh flushes bright blue and jerks backward, screeching like you haven't heard it since you first met and traumatized him. Oh boy. You have no idea how, but that was apparently extremely the wrong thing to say. Watch it! You're gonna make me fuck up your ineffable vision. No need to flip your think pan. Gotta do what it takes to find a bucket, buddy. I've been there. Galekh stares decidedly into the middle distance, as he breathes in and out and positions himself against the chair. That's extremely not what this is about. I'm perfectly capable of fulfilling my propagational duties. This is not a thing I have to do, it is a thing I want to do. If it happens to spark concupiscence... If it happens to spark concupiscent interest, so be it. Yeah, whatever, I don't judge. You only have the barest grasp on what they're discussing here, but things are starting to click into place. You don't want to embarrass your potential new friend by calling him out on his crush even further, or by implying he can't find anyone to fill a quadrant with. You tell Malek that Galekh is making his decisions based on his own personal, emotional, self-educational journey, and that's all. Yes, that is the heart of it, exactly. Galekh smiles at you, and it's crooked and stiff on his face like he hadn't expected to put it there. You smile back and place your hand on top of his, white-knuckled against the back of the chair. He winces in pain only once more before Malek steps back, tilting his head to admire his handiwork. That'll do it. Galekh rolls his shoulders and twists his body around to check his new ink. Satisfied, he turns to extend his hand to Malek. Thank you for your time on such short notice. Would you like to stay too? Malek shakes his hand, but cuts him off there. No thanks, and not much for the after party. See you around, Robo-Bud. Nice tack, you button up. He tosses the gear back in his bag and nods at you, both. On his way out, he pats the goat's head, now placid. Well, that's nice. I like Malek. Malek's a good kid. One new friend is enough for one day, I suppose. Thank you for encouraging me to try something new. I still do not completely understand you, but your penchant for flinging yourself wholeheartedly into precarious situations is fascinating. That is what you do best. You grin uncontrollably at the compliment. I might try employing that tactic a bit more in my daily life, if it will lead to newer, deeper gasp of the troll condition. As such, I have 2 confessions for you. He takes a deep breath and gets the rest of it out all in one go. Will I even be able to see the text? Will it be so tiny that's impossible? Okay, it is. 1. I knew only an elementary amount of information about rainbow drinkers before I met you. And 2. The reason for my front hinge jerk reaction at that time was because of my Galekh-shaped blind spot. You graciously do not let on that those are 2 of the most obvious pieces of information you've ever encountered. Yeah, I didn't encounter that situation, I guess. With Galekh. Galekh cleans his throat and thrusts his palm husk toward you. It was one of the bad options that I didn't get somehow. Okay. Now we have taken care of that, take a photo. He turns around and you lovingly set up the shot. On his hip bone is a modest rendition of his sign. In indigo, of course. It's framed by 2 sprigs of pine, crossed under it with a V. The look on his face as he turns back over his shoulders for the camera is the most self-satisfied thing you've ever seen. When you hand Galekh his palm husk back, he fucks with it for a minute and then starts buzzing with notification after notification. He looks up at you, a smile creeping into the corner of his mouth. He bites it back like he's not sure what to do with the undefinable happiness he's experiencing. He hates it. Victory. He hates it. He's getting like notifications like, cool tat, bro. Well, that's nice. Good for him. Good for Galekh. That's a nice one. Alright then, and that was Galekh. An interesting friend that we've made. I can't do that goat stuff. It kind of actually hurts when I try to do that properly. Anyway, bye!